All right, welcome back, everybody. We have a student spotlight podcast for you guys. We have a very good friend of mine, Bobby Lopez, joining us today. What's up, Bobby?
What's good, Roy? What's good?
I'm doing great. For you guys watching at home, Bobby's somebody I've been working with for, I want to say, a little bit over a year now. Made tremendous progress, not just in his trading, but also just mentally, also in his life and in his maturity. So I'm excited to have this conversation, Bobby. May it hopefully get some value out to the folks at home.
Definitely. It's a pleasure to be here.
You want to introduce yourself to folks, kind of just tell folks a little bit about you, where you're from, how old you are?
Yeah, so my name's Bobby Lopez. Full name is Roberto Lopez, my real name. I'm 27 years old. I work a 9 to 5 job as a manager, dealing with truck drivers, and I've been in the trading game for about two and a half years now. Different courses, but this is the one that I've stuck through for about a year and a half now. And so, yeah, and it's been great being here.
Perfect. Do you want to talk a little bit about your trading journey? Like starting off, how did you see trading? And then how has your understanding of trading kind of evolved over the past year and a half?
So pretty much how I got into trading was I was doing like these product streams, such as like selling products to different people and then having like this residual income. And then I met a friend that was doing trading, and he was telling me how he was making a lot of money off of it, and he came across it, and I got interested in it, and I was like, well, let me go ahead and check it out. I was really curious about it. Something about it wanted me to learn it. And when I met up with this friend, it turns out that he ended up being in this company that was selling the product for trading, and it wasn't really amusing at first. And every time I asked for help, he was like, "Nah, just look at the course, man. Just look at the course." And I'm like, "Bro, this is doing nothing for me." So, but my curiosity still remained. I still had hope. Even though I didn't join that specific company, I was like, I got another one, and I saw ChartAddicts on Instagram, and I seen you guys do all these daily posts. People like me, people my age, doing that same thing, to coming up from the bottom to the top. And I think this is when you guys were barely building off your guys' platform too. And as soon as I jumped in the DMs, I talked to you first. I remember that, and you were telling me how you were committed to helping me out, and that you could get this set for me, and I had a lot of trust, even though the last one kind of was like, I don't know, should I trust this guy? Like, I'm trusting somebody I've never met before. But I took that leap of faith, and I'm glad I did, because Chart Addicts has definitely changed a lot of ways of on the way that I trade now today.
Yeah, I think the conversation we had was something around like you knew about trading and you were interested in trading, but the company, we're not going to name who it is, the company that you were almost involved with wasn't going to help you get to where you wanted to go because you didn't have the
Yeah.
resources you needed. And so we're like, yo, we got something personal here that we can kind of do like a one-on-one thing. And then I think that that's where we first got started. So what benefits did you see from, let's say, like doing a course versus doing like a one-on-one personal coaching thing?
Well, to be honest, I think a course and a one-on-one thing are two completely different things, because when you're doing one-on-one, you feel more committed and more motivated. You actually have someone there helping you throughout every step of the way. You're messing up somewhere, and then you have your coach telling you, well, this is where you're screwing up. This is what you got to fix, and this is the direction that you got to head to. Versus just looking at a course, you get the sense of direction, but if you need that extra help, you don't really have it. You're kind of just going by a little platform, and even though some people do get it, some people do struggle learning on their own. So I always feel like having that coach by your side will help you achieve your goals 10 times more faster, just because they'll get you in that sense of the right direction if you feel like you're falling off or you're not understanding a certain point on in your trading journey.
You don't have to name specific examples, but can you think back to a few times where you did fall off and then maybe talking to a coach helped you get back on? Can you just kind
Yeah.
of like talk about how that went down and how that played out?
Yeah, most definitely. So I would got into learning all the basics, obviously the trend lines, the zones, the support and resistance. And I got to learn your method a lot more, and just something wasn't clicking for me. Something was just like, I understand the method, but doing this isn't helping me. And so that's when I started getting on the one-on-one coach calls, and then the sense of direction you gave me was like, well, do you even have a trading plan? And I'm like, what is that? And you're like, bro, come on, download the trading plan and do this. And I remember that specifically when I got into that trading plan, everything was just a lot more clear. And then you were like, all right, we'll start off with that next. We'll get into the basics, and then we'll get into advanced. And I told you, I was like, I'm all up for it. And just having that, if I would have never gotten into the one-on-one coaching and just stuck with the mastery course, I honestly don't think I would have all the knowledge that I do today if I
Mm,
tried learning that on my own. Because that one-on-one helped me a lot more. It helped me out with my confidence. It helped me out with the right direction when you would tell me, hey, you're going wrong here, you need to come over here. I would go through that direction, see more progress, ruin it a little bit, and then you'd be like, bro, no, you got to come over here. I do it again, and then it just seems like everything was escalating forward rather than downward.
for sure. I think there's so many things in trading that, like, if you fall into a certain trap or you start having trouble, most traders don't know which little changes to make. So you might just change the whole strategy just because a couple of trades didn't work. You might change up your entire method. You might move from course to course. But I think the important thing is that, you can make those specific adjustments because you have a coach from the outside looking in that can help point you to the
Yeah.
right direction. I think that that was a big benefit. Do you remember some specific things about coaching that you took away? Was it technicals? Was it psychology? What are some like big breakthroughs that you remember having as part of the coaching?
When I signed up for the advanced coaching program, I feel like one of the biggest things was that I can confide in you, where I was like, I'm really struggling with my emotional state here, and I'm really scared to have more risk or do this. And you really pointed me out and helped me through that from step one all the way to step 10. And you would give me certain pointers where I would have never guessed it myself. And as far as technical goes, you really showed me the sense of directions and gave me like the exact right formula of how to trade a certain pair or even just other pairs. It wasn't like you kind of just get this and this, like you broke it down exactly the way I wanted it, and you pretty much laid out the blueprint for me, and that's what helped me out a lot in my trading journey.
Do you feel like if I had a class of 30 or 50 people that I was giving the same information to, that it would have been as helpful, or was it because it was personalized to you that it became so valuable?
Honestly, I feel like because it was so personalized to me, it became more valuable because I feel like each person goes through a different stage in their trading journey. Not everybody's on the same page. And when you have like a class of 30, a class of 40, everybody can be on the same subject, but everybody has different needs. One could have an emotional need, another one can have a technical need, another one can just have a basic need. And I just feel like when you get that more personalization from your coach, you feel more like not only are you making a good friend, but you're also having that special one-on-one moment where you're getting that full attention to take you to the next level rather than having 30 other people get the exact same attention and having to wait your turn in line.
For sure. So if there's somebody listening to this right now and they're probably neglecting a lot of things that they need to fix in their trading or maybe in their personal life, because as you and I have kind of discovered over the years, it's mostly what's happening in your personal life that ends up bleeding into your trading. Is there any info that you'd want to pass on to, like, let's say Bobby from a year ago is sitting in the crowd right now listening to this podcast? Is there any advice you'd want to give to that person?
Yeah, most definitely. Just keep going and don't lose faith because when I first started trading, there was numerous times where I wanted to quit. I was like, I'm done with this because I bumped into the wrong coaches way before I hit ChartAddicts, bumped into the wrong coaches. A lot of people play out the scheme of like you can make 10,000 in like 2 weeks, 2 days, and it's not the way it is. As long as you continue the journey and you keep it pushing, I feel like everything's just going to fall in your favor with the right coaches in your hands. I feel like that'd be the biggest investment anybody can make.
So that sense of direction for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
There you go. So now that you know that there's different parts of trading. There's like the technicals, there's the fundamentals, there's the psychology, there's the plan, actually having a plan of action, there's the risk management. Where would you rank those different things, knowing what you know now?
Rank him in like in order.
In order of like what's the most important thing? Because a lot of people who are listening to this, they probably still think they need to go get the next course and the next course and learn more technicals and more technicals. Um, what would you say would be the most important things that you see now from your perspective?
Honestly, the most important thing that you can do is having a plan. And then from that plan, having the sense of direction. From the sense of direction, you will have, I personally think that coach comes in with personal direction and then emotional state, because you don't want to jump into Forex thinking that you're going to make about 7,000 in the first week you start learning Forex. you got to understand that this thing takes time. It could take a year, it could take 2 years. I mean, I've been in the game for 2 years, and I think my most profitable was about 1,200. And so as long as you just continue to be consistent, I feel like having a plan, having your emotional state, and then learning the technicals would be my top three.
For sure. So I kind of just want to speak on behalf of Bobby, just because I've been able to see his journey kind of develop. Like, you were never an over trader. You were never an over leverager. I think the big issue was just a lack of clarity. And I think that what I've been able to see from you is that as soon as you had a plan and you had a sense of direction, trading became a lot more comfortable. Now, obviously, every week is different, right? Every week you're going to have to kind of put yourself back in the same mentality to be able to succeed in the charts. And you're also going to have to make sure that, like, you know, sometimes the conditions of the markets just aren't there for us. But what I've been able to see from you is a consistent progress, where before you were kind of a little bit more unsure about yourself, which trades to take, when to enter, when to get out. And now it just seems like you're very confident about the set number of trades you're taking a week, the opportunities you're looking for, the confirmations you're looking for. And so I just want to applaud you for that. We don't really bring people on here because you've made the craziest amount of money. I'm really just looking for folks in the group that have been able to make progress over the years, that have been coachable and have been able to really make that progress. And so I'm happy to see that in you, Bobby.
Thanks, Roy. I appreciate it. It definitely took a lot of hard work, man. I mean, it wasn't no easy thing, no overnight thing. You know, there was times where I was very stressed out, times where I was like, is this even for me? But I promise you guys, as long as the consistency is there and the hunger still is still striving, then you're definitely going to get to where you need to be.
So what are some exercises that help you specifically, like to get better with your trading? Was it back testing? Was it being on calls? Was it getting feedback? What do you feel like helped you the most?
Honestly, the three important things that helped me the most was seeing the trades that all my mentors took, seeing everybody else take the same trades, having the daily calls. I think the daily calls helped me out a lot because you guys break down exactly what you guys are looking for, exactly where the sense of direction, and you guys also break down why you guys are taking that trade. It's not just a phone call where it's like, well, we're just going to take this trade and that's pretty much it. You guys break it down easily, which makes me learn more. And honestly, just that personal coaching as well is what helps me get down more. Meditation helps me out a lot as well.
Guys, Bobby's not a paid spokesperson. All right. I'm just letting you guys know he's not getting paid to say this.
Yeah, not at all.
All right. So honestly, Bobby, those are like the main questions that I had for you. I just wanted to kind of pick your brain about some of the progress that you've had, some of the things that you felt like helped you the most. And hopefully we can give back some sauce to some of the traders who are still developing and who might be in your shoes from a year ago. So is there anything that came to mind during the conversation that we didn't mention that you feel like would be able to help another trader or to help your old self if you were sitting in the crowd right now?
Honestly, just go for it. I mean, don't double think about the one-on-one personal coaching or how expensive it is. Because I mean, as a guy myself, I don't really have big of a funds either, but I've managed to make it work because I really want to succeed in this industry. I really want to make it. And so as if money's going to be the issue, I feel like the biggest investment you will ever make is within yourself. Just how we pay for gym memberships to go get our body right, we also got to pay for mentorships to get our financial and psychology right. There's always going to be some sort of investment that you need to do to progress in life, and having that coach by your side, I feel like, is the most important.
Damn, I couldn't have said it better myself. Bobby, thanks for stopping by the podcast, brother.
Yeah. Thank you, Roy.
Hope to keep seeing your progress. Hope to keep seeing you grow.